Erik, thank you very much for joining us, and just wanted to hear, to start with, your impressions of Manchester United and your first 6 to 8 weeks in the job and how you found it.
My pleasure. So thank you for coming over here.
It's good to be here.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially you, that's why. I just mentioned that on enemy of the enemy ground.
Very much.
But we invite our
friends now.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Friends with him?
Yeah.
Oh no, I am friends with him. It's difficult.
No,
you know.
it's difficult for you.
It's difficult. Yeah, difficult.
But only not on Monday, but for the rest of the year we will do.
So how have you found the first 6 weeks at Manchester United?
Yeah, good, actually good. And I think, of course, when you talk about the league start difficult, but a lot of things around they were really good. The way we, the welcome, the way we were integrated in this club, I was really fine, was really good. And yeah, and of course we had the tour, was really intense, and then to know anyone in the club, you know a lot of also the team, and you know a lot about the culture from the club, so it was really good in the first weeks.
What were your initial impressions of the players, particularly in pre-season, which was quite positive?
Yeah, I think really good, and I think we performed also good, and I think we construct good levels, and team and individual, and till Atletico Madrid, I think we performed really well.
Did you think in pre-season, when you were watching those matches, did you feel like the players could really understand and play your philosophy and sort of how you wanted to play?
They did. They did quite quickly, and obviously we now have a setback, and I know league is different. Different intensity is clear, but also we miss now 2 players who play really good role in the pre-season, and especially I think in offense department now we have problems because we cannot replace the player who was doing really well in pre-season.
Erik, when you're watching the Premier League from afar, maybe last season when you were Ajax manager, you saw, Pep Guardiola was here, Jurgen Klopp, Antonio Conte. We have the best managers in the world. Did that excite you to come to the Premier League, or think it'll be a much tougher job when you come?
I think there are many circumstances why is that, and one of the thing is the best managers, but I think also the best players and the best ambiances, the stadiums, the infrastructure. So there are many reasons to come over here and to compete.
How big an influence was Pep Guardiola when you were at Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I was close to him, and I've seen a lot from him, trainings, games, and so of course you get influenced by that. But I think as a manager it's always important. You can learn from a lot, but stick to your own and take that what suits to you, and suits to you as a character and as a trainer, and so construct your own philosophy and way of you want to play.
Obviously the pre-season was really positive and everyone was really excited. Have the last 2 weeks against Brighton and Brentford shocked you compared to what you saw in pre-season?
No, because I know that it not only go up, and especially a start, a new team, new way of play, new players, that you will struggle at certain point, and you will have setbacks, and they will be deeper than in a consistent way where you already work longer in a certain strategy, based on a certain philosophy. So it doesn't surprise me.
I was at Brentford on Saturday in that first 45 minutes. You'll have obviously analysed the game, I'm sure, many times and looked at it. Do you think the plan was wrong, or do you think the execution of the plan was wrong?
When you don't do the basic stuff good, you don't have to talk about plan, and that was the case in Brentford. Wrong attitude from the start. Opponent wants more to win as we, and if that's the case, you can never win a game. And so don't talk about game plan.
So just picking up on that, how How can it be that Brentford's players want to win more than Manchester United's players? Because that's something that's been suggested last season by Ralph Rangnick, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that these players don't run as hard. We know they don't run as hard. Why is that? Why do they not run as far as other players at other teams?
I must say, it does, for me it doesn't matter, but it has to change. And so, yeah, and therefore they appointed me to change that, and I will do everything, but it will not come overnight. But it's unacceptable, that's also clear.
Erik, the player you've brought in at centre-back, Lisandro Martinez, that was the position I played, and I wasn't the biggest. And the two teams you've come up against now have targeted him, maybe with a lot more long balls. How can you and your team, and also him as an individual, combat that going forward in the Premier League?
I don't think it's necessary, because also the data shows he is dominating the ground duels and also the aerial duels. I worked with him longer time, and I had that prejudice as you have. I had the same, but really quickly he turned around, because he was facing the biggest strikers, not only Holland, Europe, Champions League, and it was never a problem for him. And the best strikers, he always was dominating his strikers. If they were tall or not tall, he was always there.
What was the reason you brought him off at half-time for then?
I could have sub 11 players, and so the whole team was bad. And so I want to also Rafa Varane, he is fit, and I think Rafa is a slow starter in the season, but you see him growing, racing during the pre-season, last games, and I have to give him game minutes, and I know this game we don't going to win anymore. Of course you try to get the best out, but I said in half-time, make sure it not get any worse, make 4-1, and maybe then we go for 4-2. And I want to give a signal that it's unacceptable for the team, and then I make 3 subs.
On Monday, we analysed the performance at Brentford, and I looked at your idea of playing out from the back, where Lisandro passes the ball to David De Gea. He's in the middle of the pitch with the ball, and it's obvious you want your goalkeeper to really play on the ball, but that is something he's being critical or being criticised for, his ability on the ball. Is that something you feel you can improve?
Yes, I think definitely, but what funny is, but maybe not funny, we didn't read what we wanted to achieve is to play a long ball. And they didn't construct the situation that David could play the long ball. And that's why he was searching, I think, short. And yeah, and that was not the best solution, clear.
So the idea at Brentford wasn't to play short, because that seemed to re-energise them. They're a real pressing team. The idea was to actually play long over their press.
Exactly.
Did it work? Didn't work?
It didn't work. You saw we didn't play the long ball, and so that is a thing we have to improve. So we can improve a lot of things, and we will do.
Erik, everyone knew that when you came into the club that there was a big job to do, and Jamie's just asked about Lisandro Martinez. We must talk about recruitment. You know, from the outside, it looks like a mess with the missing out on De Jong, Arnautovic, Rabiot, etc. All these names that have been mentioned. You must feel let down. I'm a Manchester United fan. You must feel let down by the fact the club have not got you the players that you want, because every other club that you're up against, Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, have all got their players in. But Erik ten Hag does not have his players. Are you let down? Do you feel let down?
I think their base was, from all the clubs you mentioned, are much better from the last year. They had already a squad, so good basic squad. We have to construct that, and what we said, we want to have the right players in, and not any players. And we do everything to get that done. And now we still have 2 weeks to go. And of course, I prefer to have that earlier, but better is that we get finally the good players in.
Do you have confidence that you will get the right players in the next 10 days, 2 weeks?
I have confidence, sure.
Erik, is it in terms of bringing players in, is it about you need players to come in not so, it doesn't matter who, but you need to bring players in for the quality of the squad.
It doesn't matter.
No, but would you maybe say, no, it's better to wait maybe till January or maybe next summer to get the player that you really want?
In some occasions can be, but on the other hand, and this is also you see, and that is the advantage from the last 2 games. We need now players to strengthen the squad. That's clear.
Do you feel more a coach or a manager at Manchester United, and is that role different to what you had at Ajax in terms of recruitment?
No, it's exactly the same. And the same position I had in Ajax, and we cooperate. I work closely with John Murdoch in that case to make the squad.
So all the players we see that have been brought to Manchester United, or the players that Manchester United are being linked with now, is that all down to yourself, or is that a club decision?
It's together, and we make out that when a player coming in is fully agreement between technical staff department and recruitment staff. So when we agree, we get in a player.
Well, one of the players that is at the club, and you get asked about him a lot, is Cristiano Ronaldo. I played with Cristiano Ronaldo, and this morning he's told us that in 2 weeks we will know the truth. Do you know the truth?
I don't know what he's suggesting, so I cannot give a comment.
But do you find, how does that help you? How does that help the players in the dressing room that one of the greatest players of all time is posting on social media that he's going to tell the truth in 2 weeks?
Yeah, but I don't know what he wants to achieve with that. So if you want to know that, you have to ask him.
Erik, when other managers have come to the Premier League, big top managers come to the top clubs, like obviously Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Conte, even Thomas Tuchel, they've all made maybe a big decision or a statement when they first come to the club. I feel that Manchester United should get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo, but as a manager, if you have a player that doesn't want to be here, could it not be a statement for you as a manager to say, okay, the club have to move him on if he doesn't want to be here?
That's not what he is telling us. So we plan with him, and that has reasons. He scored goals, and that is one of the most important factors in football. It's clear. So we want him to be here, and it's also not that we can easily appoint 3-4 top strikers because they are not available easily. And so we are happy with him, and now we have to fit him in our system, in our way of play, and that is what he is trying and what we are trying.
One of the other things that we must ask you about, Erik, and we understand fully that it is nothing to do with you, is the ownership of the football club and the fans' discontent at this moment in time around the ownership. Is that causing a problem for you, and is it causing a problem for the players in respect of the culture and the environment and the negativity that surrounds the club at this moment in time?
Only what I know. The owners, they want to win, and they want to help and support.
You say they want to win and they want to help and support. We never hear from the owners. No one ever speaks from the family. Do you communicate with them on a regular basis, and what are their messages to you? How often do you communicate with them?
So when I was appointed, but not directly, but I know in this club they talk a lot with him. So every week they speak with him about the future and the strategy we have to go.
I was involved when I was at Liverpool as a player. We had American owners, Tom Hicks and George Gillette, and there was a lot of negativity around from the supporters, and playing at that time, it was difficult to play. I mean, do you understand that, the reaction of the supporters, and do you understand the negativity that will probably have on the team and also make your job a lot harder?
Yeah, but all what we have to do is to get successful. and that is what we are stand for, therefore we are appointed, that's for why we are here. And I think we have to take all the energy in that and not in what's happening, owners or what else. It's about play good football, get results, so entertain the fans. That's about what we have to focus on.
When you were at Ajax, you worked, I think, with Edwin van der Sar and Mark Overmars. Is that different to what the situation that you find yourself in now? Because obviously they were ex-professional players.
Yes, they are, but once again, I really could cooperate here with the people around, and it's in the same construction as in Ajax. So I like it. I have a good connection with them, and we work really hard to get this done.
Erik, we move forward to Liverpool, a huge game obviously for Manchester United.
And Liverpool.
What's the preparation been like? Obviously you brought the players back in on Sunday, I think, after the Brentford game. What has it been like this week in terms of the preparation? How have you found the spirit and the confidence in the dressing room?
Yeah, it's good, and of course Sunday, and we talked about we need mentality change, and so it's not acceptable that we deliver the performance we did Saturday. The players know that, but from there on also we get the positivity back, and also the spirit. They work really good, all pre-season they work good, and they are aware and they know what they have to do, that we have to be better as individual. We have to give everything 100% and work as a team.
Will you change slightly the approach? I'm not going to ask you for your tactics or your team. You won't give it to me, and I don't want you to. But would you change your approach slightly from the first two games against Liverpool because of the quality of the opposition, or what you've seen in the first two matches?
That is, I think, always what you do. You always have a view to the opponent. From there on, you produce your game plan, but we will stick to our philosophy. And we did it really good in pre-season. You saw some slides in the games we play now, but also when you do the basic stuff, not good. Once again, you don't have to talk about philosophy, strategy, of game plan or what else. So first we have to work on that, and that has to be good. And from there on, you get the right feeling and you get results.
Erik, have you saw back or watched back the games from last season, or was you aware of the games when you were at Ajax last season? You know, obviously Liverpool come to Old Trafford and won 5-0.
Yeah, I've seen, but I've seen many games, but that is last season, and I'm aware. So you have still the scars from last year's or from last year's. So it's up to us to turn around this.
In terms of Liverpool, has anyone explained? I mean, obviously you're aware of the rivalry between the two clubs.
I can see on both of you. really rival.
Yeah.
We
used to hate each other.
Yeah.
We still do a little bit, but
but you know how football plays. The right ones. We are good with each other, but when it's game time, then it's the rival there, and then it's 100%. I think for every yard of the ground, we have to battle and fight. Clear.
It's been a difficult start, the first two matches, no doubt, but is the thinking this week that win this game against Liverpool, go above Liverpool on points, and all of a sudden the corner would be turned?
Well, I think, next game, and you go into that game, and every game you can win. And we have to convince the team of that factor, and we know Liverpool is strong. I really like them. I think last year they played obviously the best football from Europe. That was my opinion. So I admire them. But even good teams, you can beat them.
Erik, when you came in, you mentioned about all good things come to an end at some stage with clubs and cycles. I mean, how far away right now do you think Manchester United are from Liverpool or Manchester City?
I cannot talk in such facts. Why we have to talk to go into the highest standards, and every day to use the highest standards, demand the highest standards, and when they are not, we have to correct that. We get in our attitudes, in our mentality, that high standards in. So we only accept that, and when you that is the basic, and from there on we have to bring in the quality.
You mentioned about you were impressed with Liverpool's football from last season. Obviously we don't know you too well yet, just 2 games in, saw you at Ajax in the Champions League. Is that the type of football you want to bring to sort of Manchester United when you've got your team and you've got your sort of real philosophy within the club?
I think always the players, they're dictating how you play. And so that is the same what I want to do in Manchester United. I want to bring the players in their strengths. And of course, every player also has weaknesses, so therefore you have a team to balance that out, and that is what we are looking for.
Manchester United fans have been very positive about your introduction to the club and really like the idea of you taking this club forward. What message have you got for them, Erik, in terms of sort of how we are at the moment and the fact that obviously it's been a very difficult start to the season? Do you have a message of positivity for them so that they could go into the Liverpool game?
Look, it's clear. We don't have to start. We expect. We are not playing the standards we have to do. So yeah, we have to fight for that, and that is the minimum what they can expect. So that is what I expect and demand from my team. And we know we are now on the level. This is not ours, but we also have seen pre-season where I really saw, let's say, good things, and that are not and even not that the standards we need to get back where we belong. But it's a long road. We have to go together, and if we do that, I'm convinced we will be there, because I have that experience in my former clubs. Also, often difficult start. Where I say new philosophy, new strategy, new team. We have to get used to each other, but finally we get it done. I get it done. So I'm convinced it will happen.
I hope so, Erik.
Yeah.
I'll be cheering you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Erik.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please.